Alison Goodman, author of EON, Dragoneye Reborn, a new fantasy duology. This is one of my favourite passages from the book. It's an action scene which I love writing. Raiko kicked the horse forward. I touched the red folio for good luck, then leaned into the animal's quickening pace. The effort of staying on and handling the sword made my heartbeat pound in my ears, louder than the boom of the battering ram. Wind made from speed whipped my eyes full of stinging tears. We gained the path, the dull thud of horse hooves on grass changing into an instant clattering target. On both sides the darkness milled with the forms of men, the path between them a bright strip of death. Up ahead, the gate was bowing under the force of the ram, cries of effort rising above the crack of splitting wood. I shifted and joined my hands around the grip. "Wait!" Raiko yelled. I caught a blurred glimpse of men running toward us, reaching for arrows. I lifted the sword. The air pulsed with explosions, to the left, to the right. Was this Solly's bag of tricks? "Now!" Raiko ordered. I hit the first rope, absurdly pleased with the bouncing demise of its lantern. The follow-through was less successful, the blade swinging close to Raiko's ear. "Watch it!" he roared, jerking us. From the shadows on either side, I checked for pain, nothing. My focus snapped back to the world rushing by. I was missing lanterns, leaving us exposed. With my back tensed for impact, I swung again. The weight of the sword collected a lantern and sent it into the shadows. Ahead, there was a huge crack of rending wood and shouts of success. The gate was down. I sliced another rope, sending its lantern rolling across the grass. My wrists were weakening, the twist in my backbone sending trembling fire into my thighs. "I'm going to ride over them. Hold on," Raiko called over his shoulder. His words didn't make sense. I was too intent on the next rope, on lifting the sword. The horse dipped into an even longer stride, but my body adjusted too late. The sword jerked up, hit the pole and jarred out of my hands, clanging to the path. I grabbed Raiko's waist and looked back, the sword already 4 horse lengths away. The men who had run onto the path were lowering their bows. Somewhere up ahead, battle cries rose into the smashing clang of sword meeting sword. "I dropped it," I screamed in Raiko's ear. "I dropped your sword." Then I saw the wall of men fighting in the splintered gateway, Imperial guards being forced back by Sethon's army. We were heading straight for them, the horse trying to pull to the left, Raiko brutally holding it on course. The first man we hit cannoned into his opponent. The next man saw us coming and hacked at the horse's neck. Raiko kicked him away, grunting as the blade nicked his leg. Ahead, someone fell, screaming. The horse made for the clear opening, trampling the body. I saw the man's chest cave in under the weight of a hoof. Raiko slashed his knife at a soldier hanging onto his injured leg. I kicked at the man's shoulder, missed, and connected with his helmet. His head jerked back and he lost his hold, falling under the horse. The animal stumbled over him and staggered into an Imperial guard, slamming the man against the remains of the gate. Cursing, Raiko yanked the horse to the right, jumping it over 2 men grappling on the ground. "Raiko!" The yell was from a heavily built guard up ahead. The man blocked a downcut from a soldier, punching the end of his hilt into the other man's jaw. He turned his attention back to us. "Get us through!" Raiko bellowed over the shouting, clashing mass. The guard nodded, then ducked as a sweep cut nearly took him in the neck. He parried his attacker, locking the man's blade into his own hilt, then threw back his head and gave a long, ululating call that pulsed through the clangor. Something slammed into my back, ramming me into Raiko and knocking the breath out of me. My teeth tore into my lip, the iron tang of blood souring my mouth. I felt myself sliding backward over the rump of the horse. Someone was pulling my robe. I swung around, clawing wildly. It was a young soldier, helmet gone, blood smeared across his face. My fingers found an eye socket. I jabbed into soft tissue, hearing a yelp, but his grip on my robe tightened. Raiko clamped his hand down on my thigh, teeth bared with the effort of holding me and the horse. I went for the soldier again, but the horse suddenly ended the battle with a kick that sent the man barreling into the edge of the guardhouse. Raiko snatched up the reins as the animal skittered forward on its front legs, kicking out at anything around us. Grimly, we both hung on, my hands locked around Raiko's chest as he fought for control. Finally, the horse stopped bucking, its sides heaving. "Look!" I shouted in Raiko's ear, pointing ahead. Raiko's friend had cut down his opponent and was now methodically hacking a pathway through the soldiers in front of us. His strange call had gathered the guard around us. We were surrounded by a ring of the Emperor's elite, all doggedly holding off the soldiers and forcing a way through the melee. Raiko coaxed the exhausted horse forward, one step at a time, as the guards inched us toward the edge of the fighting. "I need a sword," Raiko bellowed. A tall guard on our right flank drove his blade into the chest of a soldier and pulled the sword free, kicking the dying man away. "Cover!" he yelled, stepping back. The two guards fighting beside him edged together without breaking the rhythm of their blows. "Here," the guard yelled to Raiko, passing up the bloody sword. Raiko saluted, quickly testing the balance of the weapon. I watched the tall guard pull out a dagger from a waist sheath and rejoin the fight. We were almost inside the gateway courtyard. The horse surged forward, sensing safety. With an agility that belied his heavy build, the front guard leaped aside, leaving his two adversaries standing in our path. We ploughed through them, knocking one to the ground, Raiko slashing the other away with his sword. We were through.